That's right. Zionism might not be overthrown today or tomorrow or next week or next year or next decade, but it will be overthrown. And it will fall, and it will fall for this reason. The contradiction between the Zionist occupation and the resistance of the Palestinians cannot be sustained because Palestinians have the masses of the world's people on their side. The occupation cannot be sustained economically, it cannot be sustained politically, it cannot be sustained morally, and it cannot be sustained intellectually. And if you're following the Palestinian resistance on the ground, comrades, then you will know that the occupation cannot be sustained militarily. Zionism is institutionalized racism, and racism is oppression. And wherever there is oppression, there is resistance. And wherever there is prolonged violent oppression, there is prolonged, ever-developing, ever-changing, ever-growing, increasingly violent resistance. And when there is no more resistance, it means that the will of the oppressed has been crushed. Has the will of the Palestinian people been crushed? Has the will of the Palestinian people been crushed? No, it has not. Where there remains in a people the will to live, to fight, to liberate themselves, to throw off the yoke of settler colonialism, where there is a will to shake off, shrug off the oppressor, which is exactly what Intifada means, then there is struggle. And do the Palestinian people still struggle? Yes. And how do you know that? You know that because you are struggling with them. So I offer a small correction to the words of Ilan Pape. We, comrades, are not simply living through the beginning of the end of Zionism, we are fighting for it. We are struggling towards it day by day, and we will win. For as was famously said by a black militant revolutionary whom liberals insist on whitewashing, the arc of history is long, but it bends towards justice. Now, comrades, I'm an Aboriginal man. I'm a Central Islander man from Mbamba. Propaganda. And I'm thinking, in particular, of people like Marcia Langton and Warren Mundine. In recent months, Aboriginal people such as these have made the astonishing claim that we Aboriginal people don't see the connection between our struggle and the struggle of the Palestinian people. Indeed, these Aboriginal people make the astonishing and baseless claim that there is no connection to be found between the struggle of Aboriginal people and the struggle of the Palestinian people. Indeed, comrades, I've even heard it put by certain Aboriginal leaders and their associates that the real historical connection is to be found between the struggle of Aboriginal people for self-determination and the struggle for self-determination of the ethno-supremacist Zionist State of Israel. Comrades, this certainly is obfuscation, mystification and bourgeois intellectual backwardness of the highest order. But luckily we, the Black People's Union, don't go in for that kind of thing, for we are revolutionaries. And when the wicked bourgeois reactionary mind deploys mystification, we deploy dialectics. The Palestinian people are unoccupied people who have endured 75 years of European white settler colonialist rule. Aboriginal people have endured 235 years of occupation and political rule at the hands of what were originally and are still overwhelmingly white settlers of European origin. Zionists claim that based on a particular interpretation of ancient religious scripture, the land of Palestine was given to them by God. White European imperialists claimed that under the doctrine of discovery, this continent was given to them through the sovereignty of the king by God. The racist ideological conceit upon which Zionist Israel relied was that Palestine was a land without a people, for a people, without a land. The racist legal fiction upon which the British relied in their violent acquisition of this continent was terra nullius, an empty land devoid of people. Today, Gaza is a starving bloodbath. Early in European settlement, this very continent too was a starving bloodbath. Israel has concentration camps in occupied territories. The Brits had reservations and missions. Zionists have bombs, tanks, sniper rifles and white phosphorus. The Brits had poison flour, bayonets and pistols. Palestinians are still in Palestine. Aboriginal people are still right here! That's why we say one struggle, one fight. That's why we say from the river to the sea, always was, always will be. That's why our revolutionary Indigenous comrades in Turtle Island say Palestinian resistance is the tip of the spear of our collective liberation. The life and death global anti-colonial struggle against a crumbling empire is being led by the most developed, courageous and theoretically cogent elements of the proletarianised masses of global Indigenous and occupied peoples. And I thank and I applaud the union movement and the workers' movement for its solidarity over the last 104 days of hell. But the fact is, we need more. We need to see workers' movements and the union movement down tools. We need to see union leadership mandate stop work actions. We need to see workers refuse to touch ships or load trucks bound for Israel. Israel must be treated as the pariah that it has chosen to become. And we need to see rank and file workers drag their leadership, kicking and screaming, back to positions of unwavering, uncompromising militancy in support of the Palestinian people. And this means, I'm sorry to say, my comrades, a betrayal of the Labor Party. And it means a betrayal of the ACTU. Because as things stand today, comrades, the ACTU and the Labor Party are not the friends of the Palestinian struggle for liberation, are not the friends of the Aboriginal struggle, are not the friends of the proletarian masses of the world. Led by the Palestinian struggle, we are fighting against fascist genocide. We are fighting to get the blood-soaked imperialist boot off the throats of tens of thousands of maimed, disfigured, burnt, broken Palestinian children, mothers, grandparents, men, workers, students, teachers, intellectuals and doctors, those of them that are still left, and for those people to have what is rightfully theirs, their land, their future, their national self-determination. And if you are not a friend of those fighting to end a genocide, then you are the enemy, and it's high time to pick a side. Now I'm going to finish with a chant. When I say there is only one solution, you say Intifada revolution. There is only one solution!
Intifada revolution!
There is only one solution!
Intifada revolution!
There is only one solution!
Intifada revolution!
There is only one solution!
Intifada revolution!